So in this video, I have no idea what I'm doing. So I'm gonna go do the thing that everyone would do and go to Instagram, of course. So I went to Instagram and I asked you all what I should do. I got some pretty decent answers, but then an idea struck me. How about I let you decide everything that happens in this video? So yeah, let's get into what I asked for. So starting off, I asked you for which materials I'm going to use. So in terms of paper, it was between Bristol board, my custom sketchbook, or a small sketchbook, of which the small sketchbook won. In terms of pencils, it was between a mechanical pencil, school pencil, and a sketching pencil, and the school pencil won as well. Now moving on to inking, it was between the cheap fine liners that I had from my cheap versus expensive video, microns that I usually use, Copic multi-liners, and Winsor & Newton fine liners, and the microns won, so thank you guys for making it a little bit easier on me. Next up we have shading. This was between a paint marker, permanent marker, pencils / charcoal pencils, and shading pastels, of which the paint marker won, so that's going to be kind of interesting on how that's going to turn out, but we'll have to wait and see. Now on colour, the alcohol marker won against Crayola, coloured pencils, and paints. Now for erasers, this isn't much of a big deal, but the rubber eraser won over no eraser and kneaded eraser, so you know, that's pretty cool. And now we're going to move on to designing who this character is and what they should look like. So starting off, I asked for the species, of course, so human won out of aliens, animal hybrids, and anything else that people would suggest. Gender, male won by a landslide. Time is going to be futuristic, and the habitat, because I didn't know it was human at the time, is going to be in space. So that's going to be kind of cool. We're going to have to make him in some kind of suit. The age range for this is going to be young adult. Body type is skinny. At the time it was skinny, but of course now a lot of people have voted for muscular over that. And the height as well, it was tall. Colour scheme, now the colour scheme is going to be colourful, so we're going to have lots of more vibrant colours in this. And the overall colour palette, the overall colour palette is going to be blues and purples, so very cool colours. I think that will work pretty well with the space theme as well. Weapons, people chose sword or a bladed weapon. Clothing, regular clothing won. I'm not exactly sure I'm going to incorporate that into a futuristic space suit, but we're going to have to see how it works. Hair, we're going to go with, it was mid-length, but now it's been voted up to long. And after a couple of tiebreakers, we'd collected ourselves a pretty decent list of character traits for this drawing, so let's go and see how it turns out. Alright, starting out with the school pencil, I found this pretty decent to work with. It wasn't crazy hard, there wasn't really much difference, so yeah, I found that pretty fun. Now, inking, I use microns all the time, so was not difficult whatsoever. Now, of course, working with a smaller sketchbook is pretty difficult, like you can't add as much details in, and especially with some of the materials we're going to be using, it's pretty hard to be so precise because you've got a lot smaller area to be working on than I would usually have, so you know, we're going to try and have to find a way to work around that. Now moving on to shadows with the paint pen. I did not really enjoy doing this. Because it's acrylic paint, it was pretty opaque, so that gave it quite a nice effect. However, the tip of these markers, they're just not very good for precise drawings, so a lot of it is a bit all over the place, but you know, overall wasn't that bad. And finally, after a couple of highlights and line shadings, here's the final piece. So as you can see here, we've got a character in a spacesuit. Of course, it's not as normal clothed, I guess, as it could be. I did put him in a spacesuit and it's quite detailed, intricate, so yeah, I don't think it really fits the normal clothing part very well. I gave him purple hair because, you know, the colour theme was purple. But overall, I quite enjoyed using these markers. Thank you all on Instagram, and also if you are new, then subscribe to the channel and like the video, because we're getting pretty close to 225 subs already. It's been like a week since we hit 200, and without further ado, I'll see you all in the next one.